All right, let's talk about something that's in pretty much every single kitchen cabinet out there, all-purpose flour. It seems so harmless, right? But as we're about to find out, it might be hiding some pretty serious dangers. I mean, just think about it for a second. It's in everything. It's the foundation of our morning toast, the pasta we crave for dinner, the cake we use for celebrations, and, a million different snacks in between. It's really the cornerstone of our comfort food.
And we eat a staggering amount of it. The average American consumes over 100 pounds of it every single year. When you hear a number like that, it really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? And that gets us to the real heart of this explainer. Beyond the fluffy texture and the familiar taste, what is all-purpose flour really doing to our bodies? What are we actually eating?
Well, to answer that, we've got to start at the beginning. We need to understand what's been taken out, what's been left behind in the journey from a whole grain of wheat to that fine white powder.
So, it all starts with a whole wheat grain, which is made of 3 parts. You've got the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. Now, the modern refining process is pretty aggressive. It strips away the bran and the germ, which, by the way, is where most of the nutrients are, and it leaves behind only the starchy endosperm. This gives it a long shelf life and a fine texture, sure, but it comes at a tremendous cost.
And the difference is it's night and day. The parts that get thrown out, the bran and the germ, that's where you find practically all of the fiber, the vitamins, and the minerals. So what's left in that bag of all-purpose flour? It's almost pure starch. This brings us to a really important concept: empty calories. It means exactly what it sounds like. The food gives you a quick jolt of energy, but it brings almost none of the essential building blocks, the good stuff, that your body actually needs to function. So the consequences here are huge. You're not just missing out on nutrients. You're eating something with no fiber, so you don't feel full, which means you're way more likely to overeat. And here's the real kicker. Your body has to use its own vitamin and mineral reserves just to process this stuff. It's actively making you nutrient poor. So this isn't harmless. That nutritional void sets off a kind of silent chain reaction. It's like a cascade of problems that flows through your body's most important systems. And it all begins with the most immediate effect. The very first place you feel the impact is in your bloodstream. All of that super digestible starch just hits your system like a tidal wave. See, because it's just pure starch with no fiber to slow it down, it turns into glucose, or sugar, almost instantly. This creates a massive blood sugar spike. Your pancreas then has to work overtime, flooding your system with insulin to handle it. And when you do that day after day, your body can start ignoring the insulin. That's what we call insulin resistance, and it's a direct path to type 2 diabetes. But the trouble doesn't stop with your blood sugar. That constant strain on your system, it just ripples outward. It starts affecting your metabolism and your heart, your entire digestive system and liver, and yeah, even your bones and your mental state.
So let's talk about the heart. A diet high in refined flour actually encourages your body to store the most dangerous kind of fat, visceral fat, around your vital organs. It can raise your bad LDL cholesterol, fuel body-wide inflammation, and push up your blood pressure. It's a huge factor in the modern obesity epidemic.
And what about your gut? Well, without fiber, all those good bacteria in your digestive system basically starve. And that throws everything out of whack. It can lead to things like chronic constipation. And because this stuff is so sticky, it can even contribute to actual blockages. Over time, all this strain is also linked to really serious conditions like non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This quote just nails it. This isn't a neutral food. To process it, your body has to go into its own savings account of nutrients and spend them. It literally depletes your essential stores, taking more from you than it could ever give. Okay, I know, that was a lot of pretty heavy information, but here's the good news. Knowing this stuff is incredibly powerful. So now, let's pivot and talk about what we can actually do about it. It's all about reclaiming your plate with smarter, better choices. And there are so many fantastic alternatives out there today. The easiest swap is just to go for a whole wheat flour to get all that fiber and nutrition back. But you can also explore some amazing gluten-free options like oat or brown rice flour. Almond flour is a powerhouse. It adds protein and healthy fats.
And flours like coconut or quinoa are packed with fiber and add some really unique flavors. And the benefits you get from making a simple switch? They're basically the exact opposite of all the problems we just covered. You can improve your digestion, strengthen your heart, stabilize your blood sugar and energy, and even boost your mental well-being. It's a direct investment in your long-term health. So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. We spend so much energy focused on cutting out sugar or fat. But what if the single most important, most impactful change you could possibly make is to swap out the one ingredient that's the foundation for so many of your meals? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us.